Okay, let me get to a very important but simple subject. I was thinking of what to say on this podcast, and then I realized that a lot of people don't understand that game recognizes game. What does that mean? When you say game recognizes game, what does that mean? It means it takes one to know one. It means that you see what someone's put into their effort, and you're like, hey, I can appreciate that because obviously you put some effort into it. Let me give you, for example, I am not at all gay. I'm not homophobic. I'm just, I like women. All right. So, but when I see a dude, and the dude obviously has a nice beard, like his beard is trimmed, or his haircut's really nice, or he's wearing some fly clothes, I'm gonna be like, hey, those are some fly sneaks, or that's a nice outfit, man. Where'd you get that from? Or it's a nice haircut, or whatever compliment is appropriate for the dude's hustle. Like, that dude's hustling. Same thing with women. If I see a woman and her hair is really nice, I'm going to say, hey, your hair looks really good. I mean, that looks nice, You put some effort. I see that, Or if she has a shoe game on, if she got the nice shoe, I'll be like, hey, those are nice shoes. Where'd you get them from? I showed some interest, right? Because a game recognizes game, okay? What this means is that if you see someone who's obviously balling, they're obviously on top of their game. They got jewelry, they got the nice car, they got the nice girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, Hey, dude, I see you. You're fucking badass, man. What's up with that, What's wrong? What does that harm anybody? I'm not trying to hit on a dude for his woman. I'm trying to tell a dude, hey, if you can roll with a woman like that, you have to be out of control, man. You have to be balling, right? Or vice versa. If the woman's locking down the dude, like, yo, girl, you got a lock, man. You got the jewelry, you got everything, right? So the problem is, game does not recognize game when you're a hater. Okay, when you're a hater, you see someone else's things and you envy that. You say, why don't I have that thing? I want what he has. I want what she has. I want her body. I want his money. I want her, fashion, whatever you want, right? And then it turns to something selfish and jealous, right? You're jelly. You're jelly because you can't have that level. Well, you haven't achieved that level yet. Like, you don't have it because you haven't worked for it yet. It's not that you can't have it. You can have whatever you want. It's just that you haven't worked your energy to that direction. So if you're going to get mad at someone for working for it, I mean, they obviously work for that thing that they have, right? They're working for it. Why are you mad about that? Why don't you just recognize that, hey, I see your hustle, you're a badass. Like, I could drop knowledge in 3-minute sections. That's 3 minutes right there. Game recognized game. Game recognized game. So what's the next topic? What's the next transition? I wish I had someone I could talk to right now because I would just bounce off of you and bounce off of me. Okay, so if you're not going to understand game recognized game, how can you love your neighbor as yourself? Right? That's the ultimate game recognized game. Is I just took it to the next level. The game recognizes game, yes, but love your neighbor as yourself. Love someone else the way you love yourself. Well, that's very complex. Because I used to think, oh, I love someone the way I love myself. I hate myself, so I'm going to hate other people. Right? I hated myself. I want to hurt myself. I want to be destructive. I want to, overindulge in alcohol and marijuana and just get zonked out. Even food, I was a binge eater, right? So I didn't really love myself. So if I don't love myself, how can I love anyone else? It's impossible. If you don't love yourself, you can't love no one else. So to love your neighbor as yourself, first you gotta love yourself, right? How do you love yourself? Well, you have to accept you for who you are. We all have limitations, and we all have things we excel at. Some of us are really good at X, Y, or Z, and some of us are really good at A, B, and C. It really doesn't matter because it takes like a team to get anything done. So love yourself, accept yourself, be what they say comfortable in your own skin. So as soon as you love yourself, then you know what love really is, right? You love yourself, you care for yourself, you're doing the hygiene thing, you're eating right, maybe you work out, maybe you have a hobby that you're loving yourself in that hobby time. Yeah. So once you love yourself, now you can attempt to love another person as you love yourself. Which is even harder because it's easy to love yourself. I'm selfish. I want to take care of myself. I want to live a little while. Why not? But to love someone else as myself, To say that if you're hungry, I'm hungry. To say if you're cold, then I'm cold. I'm going to cover you up. I'm going to give you some food. I'm going to give you a ride when you need a ride. I'm going to help my family member who I haven't seen, with a little bit of money, because I can't, Maybe that's loving my neighbor as myself, but that's not even loving your neighbor as yourself, because I said family member. You see that? You caught me. You have to love someone else. You have to love a bum. You have to love a freaking meth head as you love yourself. Like, can you do that? That's hard, right? To love someone who's obviously down on their luck, down and out. And to love them as you love yourself, to give them what you would give yourself, the good food and the good clothing and shelter. That's hard to do. Well, because we don't have trust, right? We're always afraid, they're going to rob from me or they're going to steal. I think, most people, they don't want to do bad things. They're kind of forced. They kind of feel forced into doing bad things because their choices are not that great, But, for the most part, people are good, Yeah, some bad habits, but, what are you going to do about it? So, to love your neighbor as yourself means you don't pass a bum by. You see that bum, hey, you give him $1, man. What's $1 to you, right? You make so many dollars an hour. This guy's sitting in the street, in the heat. Why don't you give someone a sandwich if you don't want to give them money? When you go and buy yourself lunch, why don't you buy an extra sandwich? And then I guarantee you're going to see someone that can use a sandwich on your way. You're going to see somebody that can use a sandwich, right? And how hard is that? To buy a little, 99-cent cheeseburger, something a little small. Boom. There's a hot meal for someone, for somebody that didn't have it before. And that's loving your neighbor as yourself. That's hard to do, right? Because you're scared. Oh, they're street people or whatever. No, we're all people. Some of us live inside, some of us live outside. Some people aren't meant to live inside. I know a lot of people, they have money, but, they don't want to stay inside. They want to be out in the, fresh air. Some people get claustrophobic. So don't judge someone just because they're living on the street, Maybe they had a rough childhood, maybe they're a veteran. You don't know. And why don't we even have veterans? This is just the last thing of knowledge. Why don't we even have veterans that are homeless? Like, didn't these people, lay their lives on the line for all of us? Why are they homeless? We have houses sitting empty. There are houses all over this valley that are just investment property that sit empty. Why don't we use those for the homeless people? Why don't we grow fruit trees instead of decorative trees? Why doesn't everyone just grow fruit trees and we just have enough food for everybody? Why does everyone have a victory garden? Why don't you grow your own vegetables and that way you can give the extra ones to the homeless people? Why? Because of greed, all right? It's all because of greed. And you're not loving your neighbor as yourself. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you grow food. If someone came by and wants some food, you give them an apple. Whatever you want. Because here's some nuts. Here's some salty nuts, baby. And that's for you salty mofos out there that don't know how to love. You know what? I'll tell you one last thing. The more money I give away, the more it comes back to me. It's amazing. Like, I used to be really tight with my money. I wouldn't even tithe at church, I give a couple bucks. But you know what? When I give money to people, who are working, I do little things like I go Circle K, I buy a $2 scratcher, I give it to the guy behind the counter, say, hey, good luck. Now, I don't know whether he wins or loses, but at least he has a little break, from the monotony. Or I go to church, and I put a little bit of something in there, or I see someone on the street, give a couple dollars, little things, right? It's those little things that connect people, right? Because you see the humanity in that person that's sitting there that can really appreciate what you give them. So that's 9 minutes knowledge. It's all over. Boom, baby. Boom.